started.
It is started.
Really?
Yeah, but I'll edit this out.
No, like how are we going to start the video?
Hi, I'm Dylan Heath.
And I'm Thomas Blue, your host.
Today we're going to be talking about civic mirror experiences and how they changed our outlook on reality. Thomas?
One of the things I learned during the civic mirror experience was how to make a government run. I mean, it takes a lot of people to make a government run. They all have to be running smoothly and working together. What's one of your things?
I learned how to auction well, trade well, set prices on my units, and I learned to be nice to people since I'm a minority and get put down and have to kneel before people all the time. So yeah. What's your second thing?
I also learned how to work trade with people. You have to listen to some of what they want, but also keep in mind that you don't want to be screwed over. Like, if you want 400 for something and they want to trade it to you for 1,000, settle in the middle and pay 700 for the thing.
Yeah, and I also learned how to stay alive by getting food and electricity.
The last thing I learned during my civic mirror experience was how to set a reasonable tax rate. Why
do you have a goal?
I don't know.
Okay.
The last thing I learned during my civic mirror experience was how to set a reasonable tax rate. One that not only pleases people, but it also gives the government enough money to allow them to do what they need to do. Like, sure, the people want no taxes, but that doesn't work for the government because the government needs to pay for stuff that the people need. So we need to agree on a reasonable tax rate for everybody.
The final thing I learned was how to budget and keep my family alive. You have to budget in order to not become poor and spend too much money, or else you're pretty much dead. So yeah. Let's go to our House of Representative, Louis Schadler, and see what he thinks about this. I'm here with our representative of Los Platanos, Louis Schadler. Louis, how are you doing today?
I'm really good, Mr. Heath. How about you?
I'm good. I have 6 questions to ask you about civic mirror, or your civic mirror experience, and how they affected your outlook on reality, and how you will change society because of it. Yeah, okay. Let's get started. What are your strengths and weaknesses, and what can you do to improve yourself and society?
I think one of my strengths is I really got involved with the government, and I tried to stay a House of Reps every single year, and I was able to get that position. I really tried to help this community because I know our first year we just did not have a good year, and there was many deaths. I really think, but one of my weaknesses was, I think one of my hidden agendas, it was very hard, and I tried, but a lot of people just went against that, so I think that was one of the hard parts. And that was some of my strengths and some of my weaknesses.
Okay. How has this experience changed your attitude and outlook?
It's really made me see that our society it's very complex, and you have to really work very hard to earn what you want, and you can't just walk by and let your parents do it. Everything is a lot more complex, and it's even going to be more complex in reality.
Okay, what about the experience shocked you, and what can you learn from it?
It's very hard to get stuff done in the government. I really didn't realize that until I worked in the government for our country of Los Platanos. And I learned that you really need to be able to communicate with other people to get stuff done, or many things you will not succeed that. Like in our first year with the electricity, not many people got it because there was a little difficulty with that, but our second year, I think we were really successful with electricity, and there was a lot less death.
What did you really begin to understand about law, government, and society?
Well, I really started to learn that our government is a lot more complex. Like, even though our government in Los Platanos was very complex, I mean, we fought a lot, and I mean, in reality, government is going to be a lot harder. And I mean, we had all these laws in Los Platanos, and some people didn't follow them and stuff, but I mean, in reality, all those laws are just more complex, and government is just a lot more hard. I mean...
So how has this experience prepared you for reality?
I think that it will really prepare me because I'll know about the hardships and I'll just be ready to face our reality, like all the laws, all the government. If I get involved, I'll just be a lot more prepared and know what might happen.
And finally, what about this experience did you find frustrating, depressing, or upsetting, and what can you learn from it?
Well, I really learned that my hidden agenda, it was, I think at least, was one of the more hard ones to do. And I really learned that if you really want to do that thing, if you really want to get your agenda finished, or you really have to pursue it, and you have to have your heart into it. And you just...
And finally, what about this experience did you find frustrating, depressing, upsetting, and what can you learn from it?
Well, I really thought that it was frustrating was my hidden agenda. It was one of the more harder ones to complete, and many people went against it. I really think that you can learn from this is because if many people go against you, I really think you have to fight for you believe in. And I think I wasn't very good at it, but I mean, in reality, if I really was trying to get that hidden agenda, I really would have to fight for it and do what I believe in.
Thank you, Louie. That has been our interview, and let's go back to me and my co-host, Thomas Blue. Thank you for sticking with us for these 7 long minutes. I know, it was torturous. You can dislike the heck out of this video, but we would really appreciate it if you give it a thumbs up. It has been a huge, huge experience. I've learned so much. Seriously, I will take this into reality, as I'm sure Thomas will.
I will.
There you go. Thanks for watching Civic Mirror News.
See you in our next video.